On Blues Radio International, we continue our viral antiviral world tour with a visit to our friend Gracie Curan in Memphis. Hi,
Hello.
Gracie.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Jesse. It's good to see you.
It's great to see you too, Gracie. What have you been doing since you've been self-quarantining other than making music and live streams, which I saw last night? That was really cool.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
really
fun.
cool.
Yeah, we were on the road for about 5 weeks, right up until like March 6th or 7th. And I caught a couple amazing live shows at the end of our tour, and then I headed back to Memphis. So it's good to be home. You know, I always complain about having time with my husband, and now I have plenty of it. So it worked out good.
Yeah, I mean, just like 2 months ago, we were sitting in the Rum Boogie in Memphis, watching a live show together, rubbing up against each other and hugging, and it was like all this like amazing thing. And now it's like we're all stuck in our respective places, and I'm hoping that we'll be back to hugging and out sooner than later.
Yes, me too. I'm a hugger, so
Yes. I know that physical like is very important to me as well, so I understand that.
Absolutely, yeah. So it'll be nice when we're back at it. I'm trying to make the best. I think everyone's just trying to make the best of their time at home, and enjoying my dogs and my husband and home cooked meals and all that good stuff. So I'm enjoying it. I'm actually, when we're off the road, my husband is in the industry as well. A lot of you guys know him from has done sound on the Blues Cruise for a really long time. So all his gigs are canceled too. So we're both home and have this time off together, and so we're really enjoying it while we have it, because we don't often get a lot of time off together. So. All right, let's do. I'm gonna do a Sister Rosetta song. It's one of my favorites. I have done it over the past couple of years because I'm just such a big fan of hers, and I love everything about her. And she's such an icon, and I really enjoy being able to talk about her at our shows and things like that. So this is called "Up Above My Head." And it's really cool because the Wood Brothers had, it's an old gospel song, but the Wood Brothers covered it a couple of years ago, and it was all over popular radio. And I thought that was so cool, like this old gospel song, on popular radio. So here we go. Up above my head, I hear music everywhere. Up above my head, I hear music everywhere. Up above my head, I hear music everywhere. I really do believe there's a joy somewhere. Ooh, out in the street, I hear music everywhere. Up and down Beer Street, I hear music everywhere. Up and down the street, I hear music everywhere. I really do believe there's a joy somewhere. Ooh, up in my room, I hear music everywhere. Up in my room, I hear music everywhere. Up in my room, I hear music everywhere. I believe there's a joy somewhere. Yeah. I really do believe. Oh, there's a joy, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we've been playing a lot of music here. We've been jamming out every day, and it's really cool. There's a trombonist from the Memphis Symphony Orchestra, a couple of streets over from us, named Wes, and he's been playing his trombone every night. So we've been sitting on the back deck and listening to him play, and it's actually really beautiful. And especially now, I know there's such stressful times, it really kind of dawns on you with everyone home. And it's really so poignant and breathtaking. And in a way, I feel like life is supposed to be like that, us just enjoying music and each other and our neighbors. And so there's really a lot of beautiful aspects that are coming out of, such a horrible situation.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that, people turning bad into good and, making the best of it, which is great. We've spoke to people who have family members in places like Nigeria where things are not so great.
Yeah.
And, staying positive is a massive undertaking. And so when you bring it, it promotes, healing. Even if we can't bring them anything physically, we can definitely bring something to their soul, which is nice. And we thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And,
you realize too how really important music. We've been listening to music nonstop and just reading and the arts and things like that. And my dad was ill last year, and I said to the nurse, I just think they were superheroes before, I just have so much respect. I could never do it, being responsible for somebody's life. And I had said to the nurse at the time, thank you so much for what you're doing. I could never do this. I feel funny because we're the ones that get applause. If we do a good job, we get applause, and nurses and doctors, they're the ones that should be getting that applause. And I said, it makes me feel funny kind of that we kind of get so much clout as musicians because I don't feel like, our job is important. And, she said to me, well, if I have a rough day, I even the other day, before this had happened, she had lost a patient. And she said, the first thing I do is I get in my car and I turn on music. And, for me, music helps me get by. And so that really meant a lot to me because you really realize in these times, not only how important our healthcare workers are, but, how important music is and how important, the company of our friends and family are. It's just these, we're in a position right now where we're really kind of down to, the things that kind of really matter in life, which is a nice reminder, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, things start to take on a new meaning. And,
sure.
Songs, situations, people in your life, everything seems to kind of morph into something else.
Mm-hmm.
And things that weren't as important, a couple months ago now are things like, hand sanitizer. How many partial you have laying around, and now people are scrambling to get that just to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely mind-boggling. And I was curious, what's it like for you there? Do you have everything you need? Are you able to get to the store? What's going on?
I was coming out of Boston right as Boston's kind of one of the hot spots in the country. And we had been touring up there. And my last 3 nights, I was able to see Kingfish, Vanessa Collier, and Danielle Schneebelen.
Oh man!
Right in a row. And the last night at Danielle's show was the first day I remember that everyone was kind of talking about it, and and we were kind of having that do we hug each other type thing, which we hadn't really, it was kind of our first instance of that happening. And so and I came back to Memphis the following day, but so to see it start to kind of unfold in Boston, and when I came back to Memphis, I said to my husband, I was like, oh, we need to start sanitizing our groceries. And Memphis hadn't really gotten there yet. So they hadn't shut down yet. And I think he thought I was crazy for the first, few days I was home. And then, as more news started coming out and how serious it was, and they started locking down the city, I think it really hit home to us, and I have a sister that's a nurse up in Boston. My brother works for the New England Organ Bank or Donate Life now in Texas. And so they're really involved. His significant other is a pulmonologist, and they're all kind of right there. So it really, if I'm this scared to send my husband out to go grocery shopping, I really can't imagine what it's like for the people that are dealing with this, in a really real way, and it's funny because, I haven't complained about being home because it's such a gift. Thank God I have the luxury of staying home. It's hard to be off the road, obviously, but it pales in comparison. I will stay home as long as I need to, until it's safe to go back out, and I'm sure the celebration once we do go back out is going to be pretty awesome. So,
I'm imagining and rebound from this is going to be just insane, amazing. There'll be more work than that you can do, and hopefully
party in the streets,
come back in a big way.
I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, I'm really, we're enjoying our time home and making the best of it. And we're very lucky that all our friends and family are safe. And my parents are down in Florida, and they're out, they're in a retirement community, which is like a college fraternity. Yeah. So, I've had to yell at them and say, stay home. You're not going out for happy hour tonight, And so they're in and safe, and I'm just very grateful for that. I'm grateful that we all have the things we need, and the people that I love are staying safe and staying home, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, I think it took people long enough to kind of get it that you're stop going out. Just don't do that right now.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
I think it's more important than your health and the health of others.
Yeah, exactly. So, I haven't left the house, literally. I got back I drove back from Boston, and I got to Memphis, in about 36 hours. And that was 25 days ago. I have not left the house, not once, in 25 days. And I don't plan to. We're all stocked up here, and we don't plan on going anywhere. So we're very grateful that we have that luxury.
Yes, it is a very luxurious feeling to know that you don't have to leave, and you don't need anything, and everything will be okay.
Yes.
As long as you know.
Yes,
and that's we're trying to bring music to people that can't do that, which is kind of the way that we're keeping ourselves sane is by delivering this healing music to people who just otherwise wouldn't have any.
Yeah, which is such a blessing too. I mean, really, just having kind of finding that voice. For me, music really has been such a refuge. And just like I said, just listening to the trombone player across the street play Amazing Grace, I was like sobbing on my neck because it's just something that I think my soul needed. And so music is such a healer, and I'm very grateful to be in that business, and even just how the community is, with people in the music business, and it's such a great community, and we've received so much support from our fans, which I'm so grateful for, because they've kept us going all these years, and they continue to do so, and so we're very grateful. But it's such a great community, people, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of gratitude going on my part these days for many things. It's been a real eye opener about what's actually important, and hopefully that sentiment doesn't fade as this disease dissipates. I'm hoping that maybe this is a change for the better. But I don't know. We'll see. I think if we all just keep our attitudes, positive. The little thing that makes a big difference, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And just here, I mean, even I feel like there's more birds out now, just it's very healing for our environment too. And that's something that's kind of nice to see. I think that people are going to kind of take note. You can ignore something for so long until it becomes, we can't ignore this anymore. And, I think we've learned a lot just about how our environment has responded, how people have responded. And I think, I really do think it's going to change things. And I hope so, for the better, or just even the need for healthcare, universal healthcare, and why that's so important. All these issues that are kind of being brought to the forefront. It's really kind of great to see that, that people are realizing, without going into politics, politics are inherently personal to somebody's experience. So if you didn't need healthcare before, you were lucky, that you were in a situation where it wasn't necessary. And now we're finding that everyone needs that. It's a basic need. And I'm glad that people are kind of seeing, life informs politics. And now that everybody's kind of seeing the different circumstances of people around the world, it's really calling for a need of these things, or even access to food. I watched a video this morning of a food bank in Texas. My friend Nakia, who's a great musician as well, he's done a lot to raise money for a food bank in Texas. And he posted a video of a line of cars around the corner of people that didn't have access to food because they're not in school anymore. And he shut off the sound because he was sobbing looking at these cars, of all these people that just don't have access to food, So it's great to see attention being brought to these issues, that are so much more important than, all the other, things going on and things we usually focus on.
Yeah, well, that hospital worker that you told us about, I think she nailed it. We need music from you to get us through it. And I know it's kind of unfair given that musicians are taking this terrible financial hit right now, that we're looking to you, ironically, again, to lift our spirits. But it's so important. If you could sing something to the world, because we got an open channel right now to help everyone feel better, a cappella, what would it be?
I just a chorus, actually, maybe not a cappella, but just a chorus. Anders Osborne does this song, and I find myself playing more songs that kind of lately have been really kind of poignant to what we're going through. They're just kind of resonating with me in a different way, because I would dance around my house and listen to Anders before this. And, he just has a song, and the chorus is, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. Tomorrow is a new day. We'll see it in a new light. So try and keep your head up. Don't ever give up. Even if your heart breaks, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I've been playing that over and over again. It's making, it's just really hitting me in a different way. I think, I believe Angela Johansson is the writer, but Anders does a version of it that's really great. And music, like I said, has been getting us through. We've been having the radio on nonstop, and it's been really helping us, get through the days here.
All right. Well, I've got one burning question that I've been waiting to ask you, and there's a line on the answer in Vegas, so there's a lot riding on what you say.
Okay, all right.
Okay. What footwear are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. That's where the odds were, so there's no surprise. Okay.
Yeah.
Shoes
don't, Jesse, I'm a little clumsy. A lot of people don't know this, but Grace is actually my nickname. It is not my real name. My mother, I grew up with my mother. I was so clumsy. My mother called me Grace growing up, and it kind of just stuck. And so I'm pretty clumsy. With footwear on, I'm even more clumsy. So, I think people thought I was trying to be edgy, and I was just really trying not to break my face. So I've been trying to do it more on stage now after picking glass out of my feet, from playing the rum boogie.
Oh man.
Stages, but for the most part, and there's something good about it. My husband always makes us go out and sit in the sunshine every day, and also like touch our feet to the ground. And, there's something, supposedly behind it that it's very connecting, and it does feel really peaceful. So I am mostly barefoot. So that's why my feet are usually horribly filthy on the bottom. but yeah. So, what's the line on that, Jesse? What kind of money are we looking at?
No, yeah. All right. Well, it didn't make up for what happened in the stock market, but it'll get us partway there. But I think you are firmly planted on the ground. And when you sing and give us Rosetta Tharpe and the beautiful inspiration you've given us today, it's a wonderful gift to people all around the world. And we love you. Thank you for joining us. And we can't thank you enough for this gift that you've shared.
Oh, I love you guys, and thank you for everything you do. You know, you've been such a champion for music around the world, and giving that access to people from everywhere. You know, I remember our conversations about, you know, people in all these areas that, you know, that are getting access to this amazing blues music. And I think what's true about blues more than any other genre is it just resonates. Everyone's, you know, can identify with that hurt and that pain, and you know, in whatever version they're experiencing it in. And it's so honest and real that I think that it really it connects people in such a great way. So thank you for everything you guys do. I appreciate it so much, and you know, hopefully I'll get to give you guys a big hug.
We'll look forward to
There'll
that.
be hugs.
Meanwhile, I'm in isolation. Audrey's there in paradise, as you can see, and but we're blessed to be with you. Thank you so much, Gracie. We love you, and take care and be safe.
Likewise, love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.